Becky's back on the podcast.
I have
no idea.
I'm the boss of this.
It is not even big enough to cover one boob.
When people ask you what's for dinner, somebody said one time to check your gauge.
Lettuce. Cover your eyes.
My stomach does things for me, and I'm very happy. So unsubscribe now.
To the camera,
I think
then
cut
you
off. I'm so sorry I asked.
I think it's episode 15.
I'm your stalker, so I'll find out really fast. The
Very,
first
very
time
well.
I'm taller than you. It has a little beautiful earth woman.
I hope you changed my name in your phone.
Doofenshmirtz is back.
Hello and welcome to the Youngfolk Knits podcast. This is episode 15. So as you can see, we finished our HUMLEBI shawls.
Yay!
The Bees Are Friends knit along ended
Just a couple days ago.
yeah, it just ended. There were some awesome projects.
Beautiful, beautiful colors I would never have chosen,
Yeah.
but look fantastic.
And they looked beautiful modeled on
They
everyone.
did.
I love seeing the pictures. We have picked winners
Yes.
for the giveaway. There's 5 winners, but what we're gonna do is announce the winners at the end of the episode. So if you didn't want to do the knit along, then you can just watch the episode and then you can beg off at the end,
Right.
if you're not interested.
Right.
But first, we have our HUMLEBI shawls.
Yay.
All right, Becky, why don't you show us yours and tell us about it?
Okay, mine is made out of Peace Fleece DK in the color Morning Dove.
So pretty.
And it's such a beautiful color. It's like a, I don't even know what color this is.
It's
like
so
a pinky
beautiful.
brown with lots of flecks. I don't know
It
how.
also has like plum undertones.
It does.
too.
It's really, I don't know if you guys can see. It has little flecks inside.
Here, let me move my face.
Different.
And it'll focus. Cover your eyes. And it'll focus.
You guys see it? It's not a super soft yarn, but it does have mohair in it, and it does soften it up a little bit because it is a rustic wool. But it's just, I had to because the colors are just beautiful, and the price point of Peace Fleece is really good in my opinion. And I just really loved it. I did a plain edge because I cannot be bothered. So I did a plain edge, mostly just because I like the plain. I'm not too much of a fringe.
Yeah.
I'm not too much of a little tiny detail. I like more of a simplistic kind of style. So that kind of matched me a little bit better.
Minimalist type look.
More, yeah. So I really do love it though. It's just beautiful. And I've worn it a couple times this since I had it finished. I finished it a little bit earlier when it was cooler enough to really wear it. And I got a lot of compliments from people. People said, "Are those bees on your shawl?" And I was like, "Yes, let me tell you all about it." And they're like, "I'm so sorry I asked."
The fear in their eyes.
Right. Like, you should not be that excited about a scarf.
No, it's so pretty. And, okay, we both used DK weight yarn. I used what the sample was knit with, which is what? Just totally blank.
I don't know. I see her face.
It's not coming
It's
to me
not
at
coming
all.
to me either. This is woolen twine.
Woolen twine.
Woolen twine.
I used woolen twine, which was what the sample was knit in. And it is also DK weight, but I wanted to, okay, I didn't even come close to using the yardage that it called from the pattern, but you ran out, didn't you?
I have like the tiniest little ball.
And you had to start decreasing.
I decreased like a few rows sooner.
Yes. So what I want to know is like, is ours the same size? I don't know. Almost look the same, don't they? Yours is a little bit bigger.
It's a little longer.
Yeah, and
It's a little deeper.
Look here in the center.
Yeah.
So yeah, hers did come out bigger than mine. So I think that my DK was more of a sport weight almost, is what it felt like to me when I was knitting with it, and yours was more like a worsted.
I would say it's like it's a light.
Yeah.
It's in between. I would say it's a light worsted.
Yeah.
But yeah. It's not as like a traditional DK.
So it's interesting though. Your yarn weight really affects your gauge and your
It does.
yardage.
Somebody said one time to check your gauge. I don't know
We don't do
who
that.
they were, but
So I knit mine out of the woolen twine, and I absolutely love the bees on it, and I love the little flower. It's like a little bit of lace, which is fancy, but it's so minimal that I think it's just really sweet.
I do too.
And I did the picots because I do love...
You can be bothered.
I do love picots. I'm obsessed with picots on all things. And like ruffles. But man, that cast on was a chore. It took a while. Mine felt more like somewhere between... Mine felt like a small shawl. It's not one that I can wrap around my shoulders really, but I love it because here...
It's wearable.
It's very wearable.
Especially as the way we like to wear shawls.
Yeah.
It's more like an accessory.
So, I'm really glad we did it.
I am too. I really enjoyed it. It's probably one of my favorite makes so far. And mostly because I just love seeing everybody's enthusiasm and the beautiful things that everyone made, and it touched my heart. My black stone cold heart.
I know it's different. It's totally different compared to where you live in the zones. What are they called?
They're zones.
Weather zones?
Yeah, they're zones.
I don't know. The zones. What zone are we in? 6?
It's debatable.
7.
It's sometimes people say 7A, sometimes we're 6B.
We may not be in the same one.
It depends on... Oh, you
or
think
are
so?
we?
I'm a little higher in altitude. I'm a little higher. I'm a little closer to Missouri than you are.
Yeah, so I don't know, but anyway, where we are, it is already, the bees are in full activity. They have swarmed multiple times on us, and we've had to scramble to catch them, so we should have split our hives much sooner than we did. But it was just fun because we still have a few days where it gets down to freezing temperature, and it's just fun to have the bee shawl and to walk around and show my bees that we love them. Thank you so much to everyone that participated.
Yes, thank you.
We really enjoyed it.
It was a lot of fun.
Okay, so let's move on to finished objects. So Becky's gonna show us what she has been working on in her absence.
Yes, I have completed a whole sweater.
I haven't seen it in person.
This is the FELIX sweater.
Oh my gosh,
by
so pretty.
Amy Christophers. Amy Christophers. Super simple.
On Instagram, she's Savory Knitting.
Savory Knitting, yes. Super simple, really pretty, like eyelet details in the raglan. I'm sure you guys have seen this many times because it's a really popular pattern, and for good reason, because it's
beautiful.
It goes fast. It looks really cute. I knit mine, I want to say an inch, maybe inch and a half longer than what the pattern calls for, just because I hate my stomach, and I don't want that to be like focal point. My stomach, I don't hate my stomach. My stomach does things for me, and I'm very happy for my stomach.
You feel like this fit is most flattering for you?
For me, yeah. I feel like it is for me. I feel more comfortable, I guess, in this. And I love the yarn. It's Peace Fleece again. This one's the worsted. So yeah, I went on a big Peace Fleece journey because their colors are so good. I wouldn't say it's my favorite fiber to fill. Fiber to fill? That's kind of funny.
To touch?
To feel. But it's just, I love it. I really do love it. And so I am going to make more things out of Peace Fleece, but I will give other yarns their time in the spotlight. But yeah, I love it. Felix, pull over.
That, one thing I like about that yarn, which I can't use it because I'm allergic to mohair, I can already feel, like,
really?
I can immediately feel it. No, it's fine. No, but show them, hold that color up really close, because that is, there's just like such depth to the color. If you look at it from a distance, it has, you know, the solid color, but there's so many different colors in the yarn. I think it's just beautiful. It gives it a real depth. And
all of the Peace Fleece are like that. They're like, I don't know if it's when they're spun or whenever they're like bringing all the fibers together. I want to say those are like ends or something. I had watched like a little program about Harrisville, and I think these are like leftovers and ends from different things, and they put them all together and make really beautiful dimensional looking yarns. So
I love it. I think you did really well.
Thank you. They've got some really pretty greens, and
that's such a wearable piece. Like, no wonder it's one of the most made things on Ravelry.
It looks good on a lot of different shapes, I've noticed.
I want to make one. I have yarn to make it in, and I'll have a list of things that I want to make, and I'm like, this is my plan, and then there's something new released, and I'm like, oh, I'm going to make that first. And then, you know what? There's always something new being released. Okay, unlike Becky, I only have one finished object. But I finished, so I did a test knit for Melody Hoffman of Bee Mandarines on Instagram. And these are some mitts that she also did socks in. And it's spelled A-I-N-E. I'll put that on the screen, and I have no idea how to say that. Maybe Áine?
I don't know.
Mitts. I have some wonderful viewers that are always, they help me out with the pronunciation, and I appreciate it so much that in later episodes I can pronounce things the right way. But these are fingerless mitts, and they are made with tuku wool.
Oh, they're beautiful.
And it's supposed to be tuku wool fingering weight. So here they are.
So pretty.
And you know why I like fingerless mitts? Because you can knit while you're wearing them.
Very true.
So these are supposed to be made out of the tuku wool fingering. And I thought when I signed up for the test knit, I thought I had the fingering and that's what I was gonna do them in. And when I looked, the only thing I had the fingering in were the two colors for the baubles and the embroidery. And the other thing that I did for the main color, it was actually the tuku wool sock, which is a sport weight. But I knit these very tightly, and I was able to meet gauge, and I think they turned out totally fine. I'm very happy with them.
They're beautiful.
And the nice thing about these is that they were not too big. Like, I was very careful with making sure that my gauge stitch wise was okay, but with row gauge it doesn't really matter because you can just knit to the length you want.
And I have smaller hands than you, and they're still good.
Yeah, they look cute.
They're not like,
yeah, I mean, I think they turned out totally fine with that yarn.
Yeah.
And the baubles were a little bit they were a bit of a pain because she suggested that you do each bauble like separately and weave your ends in for each one, and I was not here for that. So
work smarter.
I carried my yarn the whole way, and I am really glad I haven't, even though I carried my yarn and there's a lot of it, there was no, I never snag my fingers.
No, it lays really nice and flat.
Anyway, these should be released soon, and I really love them. I did a crochet hook for my baubles, and I think they make the baubles super punchy and round and
they look
full. So I really like doing a crochet bauble. And you use so little of your contrasting colors. Like, you could totally pull from stash or use minis that you have. I mean, you're going to use very little for the contrast colors. But it was really fun.
They're beautiful.
Thank you. Okay, do you have another finished object?
I do. I'm going to show you something I brought last time when it was in progress. It's finished in that I stopped knitting on it. I still have to, I've got half of one snap attached.
Oh,
but I haven't put all the snaps on. So I've got it marked where the snaps go.
Very smart.
And I just need to do them. I just need to do that. But this is the Waves of Change jacket by Denise Bayron. It's knit out of Lion Brand Hue and Me. And I knit mine plain with no purl. The original pattern has purl rows, everything, I think like every 10 rows to make some texture, which is really pretty. And I think with the next one I make, I will do that. This one turned out gorgeous. I made it a little bit bigger than for my size. And then, because I wanted it to be oversized. And then my mom tried it on just to try it on because she thought about maybe making one. She's a knitter too. And it just looked so good on her. It just looked like, it was designed for her. And I was like, I'm gonna give this to you. So this is my mom's. I'm gonna make another one for myself. So she's currently in a Mediterranean climate, so she doesn't need the snaps right now. So I'm not keeping her cold, so don't worry. But I will finish the snaps and gift it to her, and then she'll need it. I
love those snaps. I just love snaps on knitwear.
I do too. And that's what the pattern calls for, is this exact snap.
I love it.
And it's very...
was it easy to put on?
Oh,
I've never done it.
They're super easy. They're super easy to put on.
Cool. So do you like sew it on, or do you like hammer it on? Or?
You sew it on.
Okay.
It has a little, well, grommets you hammer
okay, that's what I was
and
thinking.
And you're probably thinking of it because that's kind of like a snap in the same way. But no, yeah, they're really easy to put on, so that does not explain why I haven't done it. But I don't really love...
It's like sewing buttons on.
It's true.
Nobody likes to do that.
Nobody does. But yeah, it just needs to get those.
You even have your ends
there.
woven in.
Yeah, it's washed, blocked, ends are woven in. And I
like the neck on it. I like that it like sticks up.
Yeah, it stands up nice. It's really, really nicely designed pattern.
I like it. I like it a lot.
And then this is a test knit that's finished. It's coming out. It was originally supposed to come out the end of this month, but I think it's pushed back a little bit, and I think it comes back out in May. But this is the Wrapped in Greybow shawl by Tiff Nealon. And this is a test knit for her. So it goes like that.
Part of it for you.
So yeah, it has really pretty, let me wait for a second, there we go. Really pretty textured sections of stitches. And then it gets bigger and it has a picot bind off. But I told Tiff that, Tiff said that I could share it even though it's not released and it's still in testing, just not to tell you how it's made. So you guys will have to buy that when it comes out. But it was really fun to make because it's TV knitting that's still not...
It's still interesting.
It's not boring. It's not boring, but you can still totally watch things. You can listen to audiobooks. You can answer questions when people ask you what's for dinner and all that stuff. And so it's really, really fun to knit. And so...
I just love it. Yeah, I love
it too. And I knit it out of... The main color is Cascade Eco Merino. It's a non-superwash merino, and it's really nice.
It's not itchy at all.
No, it's very soft. It's like, I could totally wear it next to skin. I'm thinking about using it for something else. And I have like some leftovers. This is a Harrisville. These two are a Fiber Company color. Sorry guys, I don't know I'll have it. I have to make a Ravelry.
These were Illuma, weren't they?
I think so, yeah.
Or however you say that.
So I have to make a Ravelry page for it, so that's why there will be one. Otherwise, I don't. This is a Cascade Heathers, and this is a Cascade as well. And they're all the non-superwash ones. And so, yeah,
it's
like super light.
It looks big.
It looks like it'd be a heavy, chunky chunk, but it's not.
Yeah.
It's
and even
really
though it has all these different colors in it, it still looks super neutral. And I feel like it would go with so many different things because the colors are, even though they're they're not super, I don't know what the right word is. They're not super saturated bold. They're more like a moodier color version of, it just looks like it would go with anything.
And it does, and I try my best to pick out colors that I wear a lot of. And so this is a lot of the things that are in my closet. So
I love it.
I like it a lot too, and so I suggest you guys keep an eye out for that if you want to, if you're looking for a shawl to knit, because
DK weight.
It's DK, so it goes really fast. It's written really clearly and beautifully, and I love testing for her. She was really, she communicated well, and she was super friendly, and awesome. I will try to test for her again if I get the opportunity.
So this is an exciting finished object.
It is.
Okay, I think that's all of our finished objects. So let's talk a little bit about what we're working on. Summer and spring warm weather kick lately. And I kind of like it. What's funny is before it hits that really hot weather, I'll get really in the mood to make all the hot weather stuff, and then once it gets here, I'm already ready for cold weather, and so then I start knitting cold weather stuff. So last summer, at the end of summer, I bought this yarn and this pattern, and then I was totally over all things hot weather knits, and I did not make it. So this was my first time using the We Are Knitters cotton, and I really like, I mean, nice. I like it. I'll just be honest, I'm not a huge fan of the actual knitting process with 100% cotton yarns. Right. To me, it's not fun on my hands. Yeah. But I really like the garment after the fact. I'm very glad to have it. So this is called the Leaf Top, and I'll have to put the designer on the screen and in the description. This is, so you knit it in sections. You knit the left side, the front right side, and then the back, and then you seam it together. So this is the front left side, and this has the buttonholes in it, and then it has this lace pattern. It obviously needs to be blocked massively. It's very pulled in on itself. But it calls for like a garter stitch strap, but I decided to do I-cord because I think those look a little bit cleaner.
Nice, yeah.
So, so I've got this side done. It is not even big enough to cover one boob, but anyway. And then I've started the right side front, and this will be the side that has the buttonholes on it. It actually knits up super quickly. It's kind of like an Aran Way worsted yarn. I knit this whole front in one afternoon.
Really?
So it went really quickly.
You're fast.
I'm not. It's just repetitive and
it's
heavy yarn.
It's really pretty.
So so hopefully I can finish this up really quickly.
There is a really sweet podcaster. Have you watched any of her episodes?
I've watched like one. I've watched her first one, but I'm so far behind on podcasts.
Her name is Martina, and she's the We Grow Wild podcast. You guys may have seen it. She's just like so earthy and sweet and like carefree. I just love watching her.
Yeah.
I think she's in Italy, and she made one of these just recently, and it looks really cute.
So what were her? She's much smaller.
She's little
than I am.
She's tiny.
But what were her thoughts on it? Did she like it?
She had trouble at first with the pattern, just reading it. Okay. And so she had some frustrations at first, but once she got it, she enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And I want to say she's making another one.
Oh, okay.
Is what she had said, unless I dreamed that. But I thought she said she was making another one. But she has sweet little buttons that she makes herself.
Oh wow.
Yeah, her.
That's cool.
I think I don't know if it's her husband or her
Are they
boyfriend.
wood buttons
Yes.
or?
That she makes, and they're all like, each ones are different, but she made one and it looks adorable on, like really cute. So I think you're gonna really enjoy yours because she really likes hers.
The one thing that I have a complaint about is this is not a size inclusive pattern at all. It really isn't in my size. I'm modifying it.
Right. So there's one small, medium is one size?
So there's a small, medium, that's one size.
Okay.
And then there's a large.
Okay.
And I'm making the large, but my first adjustment is that I'm making it longer. There's vertically, 3 repeats that you do, and I've added a 4th. So I'll do that to each section. And then depending on blocking and the size of it and how it fits, I'm probably going to do a stockinette panel on both sides to make it, like I don't want it to be super, super tight. Like I want it to fit well.
Loose,
so
yeah.
I may, whenever you seam it together, I may do a stockinette section.
Are you just gonna pick it up?
I will probably pick it up and do that on one piece, and then I will seam it with the other piece.
Okay.
Is what I'll probably do.
I think
is my plan.
I think that's a good idea. That's smart.
So that's one thing I've been working on. What about you?
I've only been working on one thing as well. I am making,
it's a good thing.
I am making a ranunculus. You guys like my
your needle holder?
Like my needle holder? It's a rubber band. It works really good.
We're thrifty.
Yeah. Anyway, I am making a ranunculus, and where am I at? Yeah, this is the back. Yeah. So I'm this far into it. It looks a little, I promise I tried it on. It stretches out really nice. It fits good.
It looked so good on you.
And so I'm knitting this, and I split for the sleeves. I didn't do, there's a short sleeve option, and I should have bound off in a certain way right here. But I just chose to split the way she mentions in the pattern for the long sleeve version. I'm just gonna knit a few rows on the sleeve, and then I'm gonna do a 1x1 rib, the same as the neck band for the sleeves, and then call it a day. This is some, I don't know what this is. My mom gifted this to me. It's like it's an Italian yarn. It's a merino of some sort. I'm sure it's superwash because it's in Italian, but it says about washing it. So I looked that up, and it says you can wash it. So I'm sure it's a superwash yarn. But I didn't know what to do with this yarn. I've had it in my stash for a while, and I only had 3 balls of it, and I thought, what am I gonna make? But I have enough for a ranunculus.
Perfect.
So yeah, it's very, very soft, isn't it?
I like it.
It doesn't feel
it.
Wintry, like a wintry.
It's really nice.
yarn. But I'm loving this pattern.
It feels to me too like it will, I mean, it's got a lot of stretch.
Yeah, and I think it will block out really nice. And it stretches really good. When it was on it stretches really nice. So
I have a question. When I did my ranunculus, so it gives you an option to do like this big boat neck or a tubular cast on. And I tried both of them, and I ripped them both out, and I didn't like them. I did a German twisted cast on because I don't know, somehow the neck wasn't fitting me right. What did you do for your cast on?
Okay. So I never do a tubular cast on. I have sat and I practiced it, and I've practiced it, and I can do it. I just hate it.
It's not fun.
I just hate it. And so every time it tells me to do it, I'm just like, this is my sweater. I'm the boss of this. And so I just did a long tail cast on, and I cast on, it has you cast on a certain number of stitches, and then you work your way up to the beginning with, and so I just cast on what the beginning stitch would be before you're gonna,
Yeah.
And I tried it on.
Oh, that's what I did too. Yeah.
Right. So I just cast on that with a long tail cast on. It stretches just fine. I get it over my head, and it looks really good. I'm happy with it.
I love it. I think it's really
and I got some yarn to make a black one, and I probably will get some yarn and make like a creamy or like a flax or linen colored one.
It's like it's
addictive. It's addictive.
Yeah,
like you're just like, oh, I need another one.
And
I don't even have one. I need another one.
It's such a staple piece too. Even though it has this, it looks kind of fancy, it's still, since it's not color work, it's all solid. It's just this texture. It adds a little bit of pretty something, but it's such a wearable piece.
Right, and I've seen fancy ones. Like people have made them out of really pretty fancy yarns, and and they're like at like events and like weddings and things, and they look beautiful. And then I've seen somebody wear them over like a tank top and shorts, and it looks really good. No wonder there's like 11,000 people making them, or 11,000 objects. Yeah.
Okay, the other thing that I have been working on, and I've not hardly made any progress at all because I've been distracted, but I actually am at the point where I'm loving it because it's stockinette stitch. It was the yoke was very involved. Like there was no TV knitting involved in this yoke for me anyway.
It looks for me. I mean, it's very detailed.
But this is my test knit for Lerka from FIBERTALES. And this is the Wilderness sweater, and I've split for the sleeves, and I'm just working on the body very slowly. I'm supposed to have it done by the end of April, so there's like, I know I can finish that, so I haven't really been super stressed about it. But now that I finished the other test knit, this is gonna be my priority.
Pretty. Is that herringbone? Is that what that's called?
Yeah, so this is herringbone. This was, I think, the first time that I can remember ever doing herringbone, and I did not like knitting.
It wasn't fun.
It wasn't fun to me. If it was a small section of something, like it wouldn't be a big deal, but I would never make something like was a cowl where the whole thing was herringbone. But anyway, I really love this detail right here, this like little welt. There's just so many little details that at first glance, it might not look that involved, but when you get close up, it's beautiful, I think.
It is, it's gorgeous.
And I love this color. So this is the Ampersand Fibers yarn. They're Castlin fingering, and it's a non-superwash, and I want to say it's Corriedale. I need to look. But
it feels nice.
It's not itchy, is it?
It feels nice.
But it still feels real. So I like it a lot. And I'm excited to wear this because I feel like this is a color sweater that you could pick a bold shawl to wear with it, and it would be fun, you know? So I'm super excited to get this finished.
Really pretty.
Lerka is an awesome designer. She's already got something else on the needles. I saw that. I'm like, I gotta hurry up and finish this. Okay, so is that all of our current works in progress?
Tis.
I have way too many works in progress, but zero progress on any of them.
You have progress. You have progress.
So I won't even go down that road. One thing before we get into the giveaway winners, I wanted to talk a little bit about a few podcasts. Yeah. Because there is so many wonderful podcasts. I mean, it's amazing. I remember for a while, I felt like I struggled finding even a good podcast, and now there's so many that I struggle keeping up with all the episodes because there's so many that I love. But there has been some, and very kind. I think it's the podcasters are also, there's a really sweet group of them that are so kind, and
and supportive
of each other.
Like
that's what I was. Yeah. That's the word I was looking for. And they'll mention other podcasts. And one, I love it because I discover new podcasts. But two, I think it's really a really sweet thing to do to kind of help build other podcast channels up too. So I love that idea, and I thought I would share a couple, and I know you have some that you really like too, so if there's any you want to talk about. Sure. So there's also there's been a few podcasters that we've been chatting a little bit together, and it's been super fun because they are from literally all over the world.
That's wonderful.
There's US, Canadian, there are a few of us, but then they're just from everywhere else. And so it's really neat that we all though have this shared love of knitting and making, and it has been really fun. But Selma, she is from, I always get it wrong, Big Little Knits or Little Big Knits? Little Big Knits, thank you. She's very sweet, and she makes some beautiful things. She lives in Canada, and so she gets to, one thing I'm jealous of, she gets to use some yarns that really just aren't that practical. Like the Lopi yarns, a lot of them, it's just too hot.
Yeah, she's a beautiful maker, for sure.
But yeah, she makes some really, really beautiful things, and she's very sweet. And also in that group is, of course, Amy Palco, who, I think she makes incredible things. And she's been doing this thing on Instagram where she's showing all of her outfits.
And her wall of shawls.
Her wall of shawls is...
That's like the dream.
It's like epic. It's
epic. Wall of shawls.
And her podcast is called The Meaningful Stitch. And then so she's in Scotland. And then there's quite a few Scotland podcasters, but one other I wanted to mention. And then next episode, I've got another. I'll just have to start sharing a few each episode because there's so many on my list. But one other is Áine, who she also is in Scotland. Talk about a sweetheart. She is so sweet, and she is a beautiful, beautiful maker. She lives in a beautiful spot, I think, near the sea. So it's all really neat.
Yeah, I love her podcast.
And her podcast is called The Thoughtful Knitter.
Yeah.
Yes, and I could just listen to her talk all day. I love her voice. But you should definitely check out all of those podcasts, and I will share some more that I enjoy next episode. But what are some that you would recommend?
Like I said, there's a lot, and I love watching podcasts. It's one of my favorite things, rather than even just like television. I like to knit and watch podcasts. I love, I like the Balanced Skein. Have you seen her, Kendra? She usually does like a, kind of like a journal from the start to the end of a project.
Oh, that's neat. Almost like a vlog of it.
Yeah, and it's all in one podcast. She always makes me laugh. She's like very like smart and witty. I really like watching her. And then another one that I love that doesn't have very many followers, but she's got beautiful, like it's aesthetically made really pretty, and she's very honest about fails and what's going wrong with different things, but then how she fixes them. And her name is Katie, and hers is Stitches and Spines, and she talks about books afterwards. So that's where the spines comes from. And she does embroidery as well and cross stitch. And she's doing some really cool cross stitches that are like copies of masterworks, you know, so they're really cool, like paintings that you'd recognize. So another one that I love is Amber from A Lovely Yarn podcast.
I love her podcast.
She has a very soothing voice, very calming to listen to. And then I also love it when she talks about her gardening and her plants and everything like that.
And I like following her on Instagram too.
Very, very nice. And so, yeah, she always has really relaxing yet enjoyable, not boring podcast. Very nice.
All right, y'all, that is all we have to show you today. If you are not interested in the Bees Are Friends knit along, then we will see you guys next time. And if you are interested, then we are now going to announce the giveaway winners for the Bees Are Friends knit along. All right, so Becky was amazing and went through and wrote every single entry down from both Ravelry and Instagram. And then we did a random number generator. So we just like went through and numbered them and then did a random number generator. So why don't you tell who the winner is, and I will show what you won.
Okay. All right, because who can read this writing other than me? Maybe not even me. Okay, so I guess our first winner, number 1, was the number that was picked. And we got her from Ravelry, and her name is Shauna, and her Ravelry name is Magic Not Drop from Ravelry. And you win this project bag and this sock set from Woolberry Fiber Co. Yay, Shauna. So Shauna, all of these winners, if you could please get in touch with me you can either email me at youngfolk.knits@gmail.com or direct message me on Instagram. Next winner is also happened to be from Ravelry. It's number 3, and her name is Juliana Casey, and that is her Ravelry name. Awesome. So sorry, this is a little wrinkly because it's been folded up, but this is the really fun Japanese knot bag that Becky made, and this Woolberry
Fiberco sock set, which matches the bag. So you can make some socks and put them in this project bag.
Yay.
So congratulations to
Yay,
you.
Juliana Anna.
Then we have the winner for this bag.
That's so pretty. And who made this?
So this was very kindly donated by Delightful Knitworks, and you can find her shop on Etsy. I will link it in the description box below. But it is a beautiful project bag that it's very substantial.
It feels good.
It's really nice.
Cushy. It's cushy.
It's really, yeah. It stands up by itself. It's a drawstring bag. And I think this coppery color, you can't see it on video, but it has this very subtle sheen to it.
It's like a metallic thread running through it.
Yes, and it's not overwhelming.
No.
Because I don't like, you know, massive glitter, but
no, it's pretty.
this is beautiful.
Oh, the winner of that bag is Cram Bread.
Cram Bread on Instagram.
On Instagram. I don't know your name, Cram Bread, but I like your Instagram name.
Yes, I loved your project.
And your project was adorable, and you looked adorable in your picture.
Okay, and then the next winner for this book by Jessica McDonald, which is the Woodland Ramble, beautiful book with children's patterns in it. Go check her out on Instagram and see her patterns.
Right. And that winner is Anila Knits, or Anila
Knits.
I think so, on Instagram, Anila Knits. So Anila, yay for you.
Then we have this beautiful stitch marker set from Horse Feather Fiber Arts. Elijah made these, and it's got a bee on there. It's just, they're beautiful, 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 beautiful. And so these will be given away with a project bag by Woolly Bean, Juanita from Woolly Bean. I believe that she is making one of her zippered pouches to go with this prize. So who was the winner for this one?
And this one was on Instagram, and her Instagram name is Small Town Knits.
Small Town Knits. So if you were one of the winners, just please contact me. The email address is youngfolk.knits@gmail.com, or you can direct message me on Instagram. Thank you all so much for participating. I loved, even if you didn't finish, I just loved seeing that you were making it with us.
Yeah.
It was really
There was a lot
fun.
of beautiful projects. Like I said, even like you said, even if you didn't finish, it was super fun seeing your yarns that you picked out, the progress you made. It was a lot of fun.
So that is all we have for today. Thank y'all so much for joining us. Thank you, Becky, for being on with me.
Thank you for having me, and thank you guys for letting me crash the party for a little bit.
Thank you guys. Happy knitting.
Bye-bye.
Oh, I forgot to tell you, I have a new intro song for this one. Yeah.
Did you play it?
Becky's back on the podcast.
So unsubscribe now.
Have you seen that show of Phineas and Ferb?
Oh yeah.
My kids watch that all the time, and they always do that part. What's the bad guy's name? The evil man is
Doofenshmirtz.
Yeah, Doofenshmirtz something. So that's my new theme song today.
Doofenshmirtz is back.